12 rounds, ding ding, sick and tired of...
How's it going, everybody? Nicholas Atkin here, Post-Fight Podcast, South China Morning Post in Hong Kong. I am joined by my lovely co-host, Ashley Martin. How you doing, Ashley?
Yeah, good, thanks, yeah.
Awesome. And Chris, how you doing, sir?
Great.
Awesome. We are here to break down, or not break down, we're going to preview the big UFC 246 card this weekend. And there is only one place to start. The return of the notorious Conor McGregor against Donald Cowboy Cerrone. Quick takes. I think we're all going to agree on the result, but let's just make it official.
Can we? I don't know. Are we going for McGregor?
Yeah, I think so.
That'd be a bold take to have.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, see, I don't know. My personal preference would be Cerrone. I think he fights so regularly. I just have a preference towards Cerrone. I just think he's a legend. Most number of fights in the UFC. Fought recently, and Conor's sort of coming back after 2 years off after a beating against Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Interesting. We'll come back to that. I want to see how you would go about how's he going to go about winning. But Chris, your take quickly.
I think a lot of people are actually sleeping on Conor McGregor's ability as a striker and his power. I will be surprised if this fight gets to the third round. I think Conor McGregor, in all honesty, is probably going to smoke him. Yeah, I think he's going to leave him on his back.
I think the same as you.
Yeah.
But
we can hope.
Cowboy fans, not all is lost. How does Cowboy go about beating him? It's probably going to be 5 rounds if he wins, right?
Yeah, I think, Conor does really well. He's a very quick starter, and he does really well just sort of like losing his hands, letting loose, and just like landing a couple big ones and getting the win quite early on. Cerrone's the opposite. He's like very technical. He's a bit of a slow starter. So I think if McGregor tries to be, I'm technical and clean now, I've evolved, Cerrone can have it. But if he goes in with, I'm going to mess you up and take your head off, then I think Cerrone doesn't do very well against those kind of fighters. So
Cerrone has done that before. I think the Gaethje fight, they went in and just started trading.
Yeah.
He's got to be smarter here, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think Conor will actually sit back for the first minute, just try and read them, because I think this hole's in his game. I think he'll find that chin, and I think he'll put him out.
It's the one downside, I think, to Cerrone is that his head doesn't really do much moving around.
No.
It's sort of always there for uppercuts, always right down the middle. So
Yeah, and I think as well he's very much a front foot fighter, but Conor has that ability to be a count puncher. He's very, very technical boxer, and I just think he's too smart for Cerrone.
Plenty of potential call-outs Conor could make afterwards. Any you're hoping to see? Any fights you want Conor after this if he wins?
I guess McGregor-Ferguson will always be one.
We've got to see how it plays out with Khabib, I imagine,
Yeah.
Masvidal, I think, is going to be there.
Yeah, I would like to see him call out actually Kevin Lee or Nate Diaz, get another fight. Then I think go for the belt. Then go for Ferguson or Khabib. But I think be active for a year. 2-3 fights in, you go for the belt again and sail off to the sunset, win or lose.
Yeah.
He's made his money.
Okay, there you have it. It's not just a one-fight card. Well, it kind of is, but we got a decent co-main event.
Yeah.
A fight that was scheduled for Australia, wasn't it? And then it was cancelled. Holly Holm against Raquel Pennington at women's bantamweight. How do we see this one going?
This is such a middle-of-the-road fight. Holly Holm, very good fighter, is always filled against the very, very top competition. Got smoked a few times, but she is a great, great striker. I don't know how much longer she needs to keep doing this. She's well into her 30s, so I don't know. Maybe it's time to start thinking about hanging up the gloves. But, I mean, her and Raquel Pennington, they're both around that ranked 5, 6, 7 ranking. And I think it's going to be, hopefully, if they both go to their full potential, it could be a very, very good, entertaining, close fight. But to me, there's no real clear standout in this fight.
Yeah, it's it's quite tough. Like Holly Holm, I guess her movement, she's always sort of dancing around the outside and then messing you up with kicks and getting her hands involved too. Whereas Pennington is like, she's just a great fighter, brawler. Just come forward, unless she's getting beat. But
both of them are not within 4 or 5 fights of a title shot. They're quite far away, which means it's quite a weak co-main, because usually in the co-main you want someone who's top 4 ranked, someone who's trying to go for a title. I think it's a bit of a middle-of-the-road fight.
It's a tough spot to be in. Below that main event, the crowd might be just waiting for that final fight. Won't
Yeah,
they?
I think so.
The whole night could be a bit drab until we get Mr. McGregor out. But below that, we have a legend at heavyweight, Alexei Oleinik.
Oh, yes.
72nd fight, I think you were saying.
Yeah, 72nd fight it will
Against Maurice
be,
Green, yeah.
which will be his 11th fight. So we've got a big differential in experience. I think Oleinik made his debut in 1996 in the Ukraine.
Oh, gee.
So he has been around for only 42 years of age, which is quite young for the heavyweight division.
Still, though, that division is terrifying.
Yeah.
I think both of them come off like very quick knockout losses.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know, hopefully we'll see another knockout.
It feels like an entertaining one they've thrown in there just to get the crowd.
Yeah, I think this
start
is gonna
building them
be
up towards
Yeah.
that
two
main
big
event.
guys swinging for each other.
Always love to
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
Women's strawweight, we got Claudia Gadelha against Alexa Grasso. How do we see that going, Chris?
Claudia, I think she has more experience. She's fought the better fighters, and I think she's found a relative novice with not that much experience under her belt.
I really like Alexa Grasso.
Yeah.
I've been following her quite closely, and her team. Claudia, I think she won on decision against that red-headed girl.
It's a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
But
Washington, right?
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. But I'm not. I think for someone with the name of Claudia Gadelha to leave with the decision, and Alexa fought Esparza last, and that was really close. I think for Grasso to perform like that against Esparza, she stands a pretty good chance against Gadelha as well.
Well, rolling on, we have the return of Anthony Pettis, lightweight, fighting Carlos Diego Ferreira. Pettis is welterweight. No, I got that right. Yeah, he went up right to. He had a loss to Nate
Welterweight.
Diaz,
Yep.
and then he's coming back down. You think this is the more natural division for him?
Oh, this is definitely his
Yeah.
most natural division. I mean, I'm a massive fan of Showtime. I think every time he fights, it's always a fantastic fight. One of my favourite fights of the last few years was him against Tony Ferguson, and I think
I love that fight. That was so good.
he's always an exciting fight, win or lose. He gives absolutely everything, and I think a lot of people actually forget the quality of fighter is and how hard he did work to get that belt. Because I mean, we are talking about the lightweight division, which is by far the deepest division in all MMA worldwide. So, I mean, he's a top 10 guy, and to be top ranked in that division, you have to be so ultimately well-rounded and skilled. So it is a real true testament to how good a fighter he is. I'd say no one should sleep on this, and I think it's a great opening fight to a good card. I think this is the one that's, straight in the showtime. Let's go.
I think Ferreira as well, his last fight was against a Russian wrestler, and it kind of dragged on a little bit. The Russian guy was just sort of holding on, and Ferreira by the end of it was just like itching to get some blood out on the canvas. And I think the two of them together at this weight is just
Could be fun.
it could be a lot of fun. It could be messy.
Think he can make another run for the title?
What, Ferreira?
No, sorry, it missed the showtime.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, Pettis is always up there, isn't he? I think, people love to watch him. I think with Diaz, he was sort of on the back foot a little bit at a different weight. But
Yeah, he had the deceiving win over Wonderboy. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that was a great shot, great knockout. But I think against Diaz, you saw the division was a little too big for him. Would you agree, Chris?
Yeah, definitely. I
So
think
he's
he's
where he should
overpowered,
be.
undersized.
yeah.
Okay. Well, there are some prelims. I guess we can quickly just mention we got Macy Barber against Roxanne Modafferi. That should be a fun one.
She, for a young
Kid
girl...
leader veteran, yeah.
Yeah, for a young girl, she is, she's like a little bulldog. She's really freaky.
Yeah,
Like-
she kept calling out Paige Van Zandt. Didn't get the fight. But I think she's training with Ben Askren, I believe. So
Okay.
yeah, not bad.
Yeah, I rate
Shots,
her.
yeah.
She has a good chance. Roxanne Modafferi has never really been top class, but she's always putting the best of effort.
All right.
Yeah, there's one fight. I think it's on the early prelims. Askar, the Bullet Askarov from Dagestan, 10-0. So maybe just one to watch for the future, guys, if you're watching the early prelims on Fight Pass.
Well, begins 7:15 a.m. if you're here in Hong Kong with us, and that might just be too early for me. That's
Yeah.
the early prelims. Maybe we'll skip. Anyway, Hope you guys enjoy the show. Connor's always entertaining. As always, if you like this, please subscribe to SCMP Martial Arts on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a follow. Leave your comment below. And enjoy the show. Thanks, Chris, and thanks, Ashley.
Thank you.
Thank you.
12 rounds, ding ding. Sick and tired of the whole damn thing, yeah. Stick a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling.